three, two. Internal conflict, the hidden pain within us all. Right, Aoife?
Yeah, definitely. So what is it? What is it, Lynn? What's internal conflict or inner conflict?
Yeah, inner conflict. Well, first of all, it's within us, right? It's a personal human experience and it feels yucky.
Yeah.
Like it feels like if you just want to run away and hide or you want to lash out and attack in
Yeah.
simple.
Well, it's that kind of like complete opposing beliefs, feelings, or desires to what's going on. Like you might desire something, and like your core beliefs might oppose that. So it's like this kind of tug of war between what you truly desire and what you may believe consciously or unconsciously. So you're kind of pulling and tugging, and yeah.
I love that kind of tug of war analogy because that's how I always see it. It's like there's friction going on inside because there's two opposing things like this cognitive dissonance. It's almost like the devil on one side and the angel on the other. It's like I
Mm.
really desire this and I really want this, but why am I experiencing this? Why does this keep on happening? Why do I feel like this all the time?
Mm.
Ah,
And a lot of it, unfortunately, is maybe like core beliefs, contracts we made with ourselves as a child that are buried in our subconscious mind, and we actually aren't aware. Because like people say, it's about the manifestation and manifesting your life's dreams. People are like, but I am feeling good and I am putting it out there and I have my visualization board and I'm doing all the right things. But maybe there's a core belief buried within your subconscious mind that you don't deserve any of this. And
mm,
there is your internal conflict. There is the
maybe
inner conflict.
likely. I said likely.
Well, definitely. Definitely is what we know now, isn't it, Lynn?
Oh, totally. Like it's crazy because since I started this work a couple of years ago, it's like, yeah, we all want better because we're here for better. We're here to figure out how to grow and expand and have better. And then we're like, oh yeah, sure, that's what I want, and I'll have that. And then you consciously get involved in it and wonder about what shall I do to get that? And then you get blocked.
Mm.
Like, why do I keep on getting stuck or sabotaging or cycling back and forth the whole time? And it's literally, as you said, Aoife, it's like that underlining structure of the beliefs and identities you hold about yourself. And unfortunately, right, that's like 95% of your results because the
Mm.
underlining structure will always determine the behavior or the self identity will always determine behavior. So when you want something and you're like, yeah, I love that, I desire that because that's within you to desire more, it's the truth of who you are. But then these constructs that were created when sometimes even before you were verbal, like pre-verbal, they're running the show because they're anchored in as your program and they're like, hey, you're going nowhere. This is
Yeah,
what
they're
we're going
holding
to
you
be.
back. And
Yeah.
there's the conflict, like your desire is here and your inner conflict or your core belief. So, like, for example, like just something as simple like my desire is to be healthy, but like I'm doing unhealthy things like binge eating crap food or smoking or drinking or whatever. So it could be as obvious and as literal and as blatant as that, but it also could be I really want to be healthy and a
Can
core.
I can I stop you there? Because I think that's really important that you spoke about that like that, because that's such a common thing. And so if you're saying I really desire to be healthy, and you said, oh, what was your exact words? But I'm doing things that don't serve me.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Doing
like,
things.
yeah,
So why do I do things that don't serve me, i.e., that bring me more pain and suffering?
yeah. But see, maybe you had a core belief as a child that, like, when I eat this chocolate or like binge eat this food, it gives me comfort. Maybe you've experienced something really traumatic as a child and you've learned to accept food or chocolate or binge eating or overeating or smoking or drinking or any of that excessive stuff as a pacifier, something to soothe you or as your safe space. Or, you know, so it can be as literal as like, it doesn't have to be a core belief either, though. You also could be just like, I want to be healthy, but I'm living an unhealthy lifestyle. So your internal conflict is there, but it could be very deep rooted to like way back when I learned that as a child, in order to comfort myself or punish myself or protect myself or any of these things, I am going to use food as a source of comfort or food as a source of punishment. Now, food as an example, I'm just saying food as an example, but it could be anything.
Yeah, like even the internal conflict, like I love that. It's because it's fulfilling a need for comfort, protection, or punishment.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And I love that because it's like, as you said, it could be anything. It could even be relationships to other people.
Yeah, yeah. Like even like love, Lynn, like I mean, you might want to search out for this beautiful loving relationship or you know, a loving connection with a friend, but maybe as a child you learned that you're not worthy of love. So that's your internal belief or that's your core belief. Like maybe you were abandoned as a child, maybe you were abused, maybe you like experienced some sort of really traumatic event where you learned to believe or created the belief in order to protect, punish, or prioritize that you are not worthy of love or you're not lovable or you don't belong. So therefore, that unconscious belief that you might have created then is always going to create an inner conflict or internal conflict to your desire to have a loving relationship. The two don't marry, they're in conflict with each other.
Mm. Hence the internal unwanted discomfort that's felt in the body because the psychological processes like that, what's programmed into the mind, the systems, the software is communicating to the hardware of the body. It's like that's the chemicals of not being loved, of fear around people and connecting that are communicating into the body with these chemicals because there's chemistry for love and there's chemistry for fear or chemistry for love and chemistry for hate. So it keeps on firing, like you get triggered even by the possibility of getting into a loving relationship, say for this, for example, or getting into a healthy diet or achieving a healthy body. You're straight away triggered that is not what you're used to, and what you're used to is what you're familiar, so it must stay the same. So the body gets triggered. It's like a warning, and it's like fire off those chemicals into the body of fear or rejection. And then they're circling in the body, communicating back to the mind. And it continues this feedback loop of like, I want this, but in here I'm like, why can't I have it? Or why am I feeling like this? Or why every time I go to take a step, I'm terrified? Or why every time I go to take a step, I self-sabotage? Or why every time I go to take a step, like I actually end up pushing people away from me, which is quite a common thing when you're trying to find love or healthy, supportive, intimate relationships.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is like you're right, it's a visceral thing as well, that gut feeling, that like gut instinct almost, because what have you programmed? Like you somewhere you could have programmed love is rejection, love is abandonment, love is abusive, love is fear as a child. So then you have that visceral chemical cocktail and physical feeling stored in your body also. So it's not only cognitive, it's the somatic as well. It's there in your body, it's locked in, it's a program. It's like, this helped me and saved me once. Do you know? And it could be completely unconscious as well. Like you mightn't even be aware of this. You know, I've had clients that haven't even been aware of their core beliefs. They're like, oh my God, I never realized that. and it comes up in the sessions, like obviously under hypnotherapy or under hypnosis, but and like you've had the exact same with clients in your sessions, and it's like that's called the aha moment, isn't it? Right, when they realize, oh my gosh, I never realized this. But it's kind of like that conflict between what you want, what you desire, to with the feeling and the thoughts, that like you can be aware of or you may not be aware of.
Mm. And I love that kind of haha moment, because, and that's the aware, because without that, there's no moving forward into your higher self, or back, or relinquishing your power. So if you're looking to discover your haha moments with myself and Aoife, look in the links around our page or under this video, and get in touch, because that's what we love discovering for people, right, Aoife? It's like that haha moment is your power. It's like realizing that, frick, that's not me. That was a creation from an experience, and I get to re-experience to create my future creations, or my future memories, or my future life, future relationships, the way that I want, as opposed to constantly being subjected to the memory, which is trapped in the mind and body. And that's what we do with people, is release the memory of what's in the mind and body to allow you to move and create what it is you actually desire.
Yeah, so it has no longer a hold, but it's all about awareness and becoming conscious of the unconscious, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what we do next week, Lynn, we are going to carry on talking about this, but we are going to look at ways to diffuse inner conflict.
Yeah, and different things work for different people. And again, as we work from our revolutionary approach, CSI method, it's like that, to be able to align all of us, which is that cognitive, that intuitive, and that bodily, that CSI, that somatic.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's really about being able to align all to your higher self, so that you're in the driving seat. You've taken back the controls.
Guess what, Lynn? I've just realized we forgot our tea today. There's no tea. Oh, you have your tea. I didn't even pour a cup of tea. I had some water earlier, and I was like, gotta jump on. I'm just rushing in the door. So
So funny.
I'm gonna stick the kettle on.
I actually came up with our tea. We hopped on and we were like chatting for a while, because both myself, Eve is a teacher and I'm a nurse, so we're having a little chat for a while. But my tea went cold, but it's still okay. I like green tea.
I'm putting the kettle on. Okie dokie, guys. So next week, our 15-minute slots, 10, 15 minutes. So we just kind of broach things and carry through. So see you next week. Take it easy. Bye, all.